first upload in a while. I know I'm late to the party here, but the videos I did in June left me burnt out and I needed a break. Plus I had other projects to work on. Before I go into this video, I'd like to say that in prep, I read some Moon Girl comics to expand my knowledge. I thought the comics were fun. I was surprised by how much was taken from the comics actually. Like, Eduardo is from the comics, and that episode where Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur swap bodies, it's something from the comics as well. With that being said, let's talk about the show. I love Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. The entertaining characters, the gorgeous animation, the jamming soundtrack, and the humor is actually funny.
You're not a real superhero.
You're not a real blonde.
This show has blown me away with how good it is, especially when most Marvel content as of late has been underwhelming. While we have gotten some enjoyable Marvel content here and there post-Endgame, most Marvel content was not too good. But then came along this show, and it was much better than it had any right to be. I'd go as far to say this is the best Marvel show since Spectacular Spider-Man. But why is that? Well, I decided to do a video diving into why that is. One issue with Marvel content like the MCU is that it's become too big for its own good. To understand one movie or show, you have to watch all these other movies and shows. Not helping is that all standalone films have been turned into big events. Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur went back to the basics of a self-contained story set in the Lower East Side of New York. This show's setting plays a crucial role, which I will get into later. Sure, the show features other Marvel characters, like Electro's daughter Aftershock appeared in the first episode, Wakanda was referenced in one, the Avengers were referenced in another, Sam Wilson made a cameo, Mara Hill of S.H.I.E.L.D. appeared around the end, and of course the Beyonder. But the show focuses on Lunella Lafayette's endeavors. Kind of like those 90s Marvel shows where the spotlight was on the title characters, but guest starred other Marvel characters. A problem the MCU has is that it all feels homogenized, with no real distinct style. I mean, sure, some directors get to put their signature elements in, but at the end of the day, it's an MCU movie. This is not to say it's bad, but after a while, it has grown rather stale. Moon Girl has an identity that stands out. Watching this show reminded me of cartoons like Dexter's Laboratory and Jimmy Neutron, and superhero cartoons from the 90s and 2000s. What sets it apart is its animation with 2D graphic comic book sensibility, combining hand-drawn animation with Toon Boom harmony, as well as aiming for an aesthetic from 1970s comic books. It also took notes from other popular Disney Channel animated shows by starting off lighthearted, but as it progressed, things got darker. This leads to my next point. When it comes to movies, shows, and games, I prefer something that provides a deeper message. It's why I enjoy franchises like Jurassic Park, Godzilla, and Star Wars because they have more to say beyond good and evil. But that's not to say superhero media can tackle real-life issues. And it's a shame that more superhero movies and shows don't do this more often, as their source material is filled with things that addresses all kinds of issues. Thankfully, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur brought something more to the table. The show deals with messages ranging from simple things like not feeding internet trolls and valuing time with your family. But this show also dealt with more serious matters, with a notable highlight being the episode, Like Mother, Like Moon Girl, where Moon Girl has to deal with a couple obsessed with extreme gentrification. Gentrification, for the uninformed, is when a low-class urban area is changed by upper-class people moving in with housing and new businesses, generally disposing of their original residents. Gentrification is a serious problem the Lower East Side has been facing for quite some time, and as of 2008, is considered one of America's most endangered places by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. The fact that the Y7 show tackles something like this deserves applause. A lot of Marvel content these days has become too profit-driven, and it shows. The MCU has become focused on releasing as many projects in one year that are ultimately acting as setups for more projects. As for the Sonyverse, I don't even know what's going on over there. But then Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur came along, and it was a breath of fresh air. This show feels like it was made to be something not only entertaining, but also inspirational and enlightening, as opposed to just something to sell a product. This show feels like it was made with heart. I want more of this, not only from Marvel, but animated TV shows going forward.